Welcome back to the second trial. Today we will make a simple quest. And let's get right into it. So first we want to check if our game install is clean. There will be probably, if you have finished the last tutorial in the DLC folder, there will be a DLC quest mod hub or quest hub test, something like that. I already deleted this. So we need to go ahead and delete that. So we will have a clean save with no quests. So we only have these DLCs here. We could also delete these, but that doesn't really matter because we will always use this for modding, so we will always have the radish tools installed. So we need to do the same thing here if there is anything else. So let's delete those two folders for me. And now we can go ahead and launch the Witcher 3. And I will go ahead and delete all saves I have here. And then we will make a new game, Blood and Wine. So we have everything unlocked. Okay. We want to do this because we don't want every time we load to get all the pop-ups and to redo stuff. So we will make a clean save, which we can use for further modding. Yeah, and then we're gonna start with the in-game tools, with the radish tools to design our quest.
Move it.
First of all, let's get all these pop-ups. Okay. Then we get
Come on.
backspace character. Okay, we got it. Then let's get it inventory and the read book. Now we have that. Let's take on the quest real quick. It's the last pop-up, which gets in the way. Or maybe not. Okay. So now we can make a clean save. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we can make a clean save here. And we can use that for further modding. For now, we will just travel to a location where we want to place our quest. For me, that's in the mill here in White Orchard. So there are some bandits at the mill. Let's kill them first. So they won't get in the way later. Or basically they will be every time there. We try to do the quest. It's pretty annoying, so let's clean them now. Okay, well, that works. That should be everything. Okay, perfect. Let's get back here. And save the game again. So that will be our modding save. Okay, now we can start designing the quest. Let's go to the spot we want to do the quest at and press F9 to get in the tools menu. Again, like last time, if you need any keys, you should see all the keys with F12. Except a few I will show you, and I think I already have shown you. So, if you're stuck, for me, position 1 on the keyboard always fixes that, but maybe just spam some keys and that most of the time works. So let's add a new layer with Cert, rename it with R, let's call it Quest Trigger, and now we have this layer here. We want to edit it, and then we want to have a new area here. So let's add a new area. For now, let's give it the height of 10. maybe even 11. And now let's add one border point. Now we're gonna press the right control to get in the free cam mode so we can have a nice overview here. It should be good. And let's edit one point with P. And now we can define the area where our quest will be triggered. And choose the next one with picture up and down. I think. Okay, maybe one here. And one here. Okay, now we're done. We press the left mouse and we are good with this. So let's see, because this is a sloped area, we probably need to lower this a bit, as you can see. So let's go ahead and do that by pressing P again here, so we can lower the whole thing. Perfect. Let's... Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. See if this is still good. Oh, the wrong way. It should be fine. We can put it back here. Supposed to be. Okay, perfect. Now we have this defined. Let's rename it as well to trigger area. And we are good for this layer. So we want another one. So this will just be our trigger layer here. And now we will do the content. So let's call it maybe quest content. And now we will go ahead here and edit this as well. Let's start with the interactive maybe first. So go ahead and create a new interactive. For me that will be a corpse, so I will call it corpse 1. And now we go ahead here and choose a template, and now we can choose from all the templates that are in the game. So let's fly a bit here, nearer to the placement. Okay, there we go. Let's choose our decoration. We will use corpse. Then we use the human corpse, yes. And then I will use a Nilfgaard corpse. And we take this one maybe. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to placement mode. And if you can see, we can here. Actually, I want to have this one. Yes, this one. So let's see how this one is placed. You can press Alt to let the camera move slower. That looks pretty good actually. That looks pretty good, yeah. So that should be fine. Next up, we will add some blood to it. So blood will be here at so there are actually many types of blood. I will use the one from here. Vanilla, quest prologue. Where am I? There. Blues, and then we have blood here, which we can use. But I don't want to edit this. I want to make new, and we will call it maybe corpse 1 blood. I can't write. Wait. Corpse 1 blood. We will go ahead and place this on top of the guy here, and then we will choose the blood. prologue, clues, and take a splat big maybe. That looks good. Yes, and then we maybe want to move this a bit to here. It's more like he got cut here. Stop the placement. There we go. Okay, next we want to have... Oh, I actually made a mistake here. This is not an interactive entity. This is a static entity because we don't want to interact with the blood on the Nilfgaarder, so we will just use it as the beginning of our trail. We will place it here, and we will choose a different blood type. So let's just take this one. That's fine. And then we are good to go. And we will have to go to static here. And here we have to add a new static entity, and this will be our blood. So let's choose the blood again. Okay, let's go to placement mode again and place it here. We could also scale it so it's bigger, but I think it is fine like this, so we'll just leave it. Go. Let's rename it to corpse blood. Corpse. Corpse. One blood. Yes. So, which makes our life a lot easier after we place the next one. We are really quick to that. Call that blood trail. Yeah, blood trail. Then we go here and choose. Please let me change the template. Yeah, okay. We will go ahead and choose the blood again, but this time let's take the medium here. And we take the small. Yeah, we take the small. And now we have to place it somewhere, like maybe here. We can, with spacebar, switch to rotating. Place it here. And now we can press I to just copy it. And again with space rotate. Place that here. And copy again. Rotate a bit. Place. Place. Now we have to move the camera. Control. Again I to copy. Space to rotate. Place. I to copy. Space to rotate. And put it here. Like, you could use different types of bloodstain, but I'm lazy for now, because this will take a while anyways. So that should be fine. Okay, now we did the blood. We need to do one more thing. That is the interactive here. This interactive should be over here. This body. So let's go here and put down a new interactive. Rename. This should be corpse to blood. And we will go ahead and choose the correct template for this. Vanilla generic quest. And then no man's land. And then parents. No. Oh, it is here. Cards. take this one. The first one has content in it. I don't know how to remove it at this point. So we will go ahead and use this one. This has nothing in it. So let's go ahead and place this like... Stop flying, my little guy. Maybe here. Somewhere like this. Okay, as you can see, oh, I did not even place it. Oh, but snap to the ground. Okay. Perfect. And maybe we want to have some blood on this dude as well, so we will go ahead and implement that as static again. Static. New. Static. Let's... Okay, new static. Corpse to blood. Okay. Change the template again. Prologue. Close. Big. Place. This time don't press the wrong key. That would help. Let's place it like this. That's good for me. And we are going to go with this. And last we need some mapping. Mapping are those we can make the circles on the minimap. So we want to have a circle on the minimap here. So we will go ahead here, create a new mapping, call it investigate corpse, maybe, and then go, yeah, no, corpse. Go ahead and put like a radius, maybe 5. That should be big enough for us, and with P we can place again, so let's put this right here. And there we go. And now we have everything set. Let's look again if this is good. We have the corpse here, then we will have to follow the blood over here, and we will find some loot over here maybe. That is our first quest we want to end. Oh, camera, please. Sometimes my camera doesn't stop moving. That should be our basic quest. So now to save this or to use this better, we go... No, we don't want to quit, then everything will be gone. That's a very bad idea. So we want to press L. Now we can see saved player definition into script log. So let's go ahead and look into the script log. And we need to go to our save file. So documents, The Witcher 3, and we have a script log here. And if we have everything in here, we can actually quit the game. It's very here. It's here at the bottom. Here we go. We can copy this to a new editor, so we have it. Okay. And we can go ahead and quit the game. Yes. Okay. Now that we have done it, we need to make ourselves a new project. So let's go to our modding files, project, and we can download the project.template from the Nexus mod website. So let's go ahead and extract. Okay, let's call it 3.my.mod, my first quest. Let's go ahead and here and there is a how to create a new project, which will say the basic things to do. We will just do them together quick. So we need to edit these settings like in the other quest. So let's go ahead and we need to set an ID here. Let's pick 67602. And we have to say the mod name here. So that will be my first quest. Then we have to set the path here, the witcher, then the mod kit, and the radish tools. Save this, and we should be good to go to execute the link. This one, create links. Yes. Okay, that worked. So actually, let me show you what that does. If we execute the full rebuild, it will take everything we have defined in here and put it in our R4 data folder. And if we look in here, we have DLC, and there should be a link, as you can see, to the first quest here. And no, this one. And this is not here because we didn't create any quest for now, but this will link, as you can see, normally to the data from the quest. And then all of these things will be cooked again and put in our game folder here in the DLC. We have nothing in here for now, but our quest will be here in the end. So let's go ahead and start creating the quest. We have done the first 3 steps here, so let's go ahead with step 4. Project my first quest, and we go to the quest editor. This will be our main tool, obviously, in creating quests, apart from the in-game tool. So let's create a new quest graph and save in, and then quest and definition.quest. That should be correct. Now we can go ahead and look in this folder, definition.quest, and we have here this file we need to edit, and we need to set the ID here. So my first quest, and don't misspell it, that will lead to errors. The caption, my first quest. This is only for the in-game, not for the in-game, this is only for the menu, the name. We will set the in-game name later. This has to be the same ID as before, so 7602. And the other things we can leave them as they are. Also, we should close all of those. And we should rename this file so to my first quest JML. Okay, now we can reload and we will see this is now my first quest, which is the name we just set in there. That is this point and this point done, and this point done as well. And this one, okay. The last one is to rename the speech CSV, but we don't need to do that for now because we don't will do anything with speech. That will be part of a later trial. So we are done with this. Let's go ahead and look at this quest editor. So this is basically where we will set the layout of the quest. So we have like wait until, we can show and hide layers, we can make entries in the journal. So quest entries, we can do a lot of things here. So first of all, we want to, let's try to wait. What do we want to do first? We have to, first of all, we need to somehow define the layers so we can show and hide them. If we look here, we see we have to have a world and the layers to hide. So you can look it up in the other quest we got for an example how they did it here. As you can see, there are some JML files and we need to recreate all of them. So let's start with the layers.prolog one. Let's open the notepad and create a new file. Put all of this. Oh, I don't want to save that. Put this in here. We don't want to have that information at the beginning, so mark it, press Ctrl H and replace everything with space. So we should have something like this now. Now we want to go ahead and save this in the correct place. So widget 3 projects, my first quest, definition.quest. And now we will call this layers.prolog.jml. This should be here now, and as you can see, detected the definition change. We can also reload, and now we should be able to, if we say enter area, we can see we can choose areas here, like the trigger area. That's what we want, but we need to do some changes here. So you can see we have different layers. We have the quest trigger layer and the quest content. These are the two tail layers we made in the game. This one only has the trigger area as we have defined it. We can also change it here. It will be then in game. We need to change some things in this content. First of all, these are the, as you can see, we have here mappings, static and interactive entities. These two we don't need to edit, but here we want to do some things so we can interact with them correctly. So let's go ahead and do that. So these corpse here should be lootable. So we will go ahead and copy. And let's just put this in a new line for now. And the template we will use will be, we will define in another file. So let's call it centity dot, or not dot. Let's call it prolog corpse. And we want to do the same with the loot here. This is also a lootable entity, centity prolog loot. So we should be good to go with that. And then we need to do another thing here. If we want to be able to interact with things, we can see here we have wait until examine, talk, to use, loot, or a custom interaction. If we look in here, we in custom interaction, we can type in anything we want. We can go ahead and delete that block again. So we need to define how we can interact. So we will do that by typing only valid interactions. Don't forget the S, otherwise that won't work. And we will just call it loot. So we have the standard loot interaction. Do the same for this. And oh, my bad, and this is not, this should be here. This is the corpse and this is the blood. So for the blood, we will do it a bit different. We will say this gets a preset. And this preset is not monster clue. So this will do all the settings for us. Well, at least it will initialize all the settings for us. And we say this will be of type monster clue, and we will call it prolog blood. And then we will go ahead and do some settings here. We want to have it in animation. Inspect low. And the duration should be 2 seconds. And then we want it to obviously to be enabled true. We don't want to have a weapon if we search it. And we can also do some automatic comments. So we will go ahead and do that commentary. And we choose blood trail here. How do I know any of these? We can also take a look here in the desktop mod, and we can see here in the layers prologue, there are some examples here with valid animations and with valid commentary. And we just used some from here. So you can look in here for like other. And also here are the valid interactions. We have like dog, examine, and yeah, we can even define custom ones, but that's ahead of this video. So now we have defined our layers. That should be all good. Now we have to define these entities we have here. Oh, I did not want to do that. So let's go ahead and create a new file. And let's write entities here. And then save this as JML again in the same folder. But this time let's call it definition.entities.jml. So now we will go ahead and use the names we defined here. So this will be prologged corpse. And now we need to define what this prologue corpse is made of. So we will have includes, and we will include all the graphics and other containers we will need here. And these will be added to this corpse then. So we need this container so it has an inventory we can loot. And then we will go ahead and grab the actual graphics here, or the actual model better. And we have that done. Next, we need to define the rest of the object. So this will be, or this is an entity object. And it has the type v3 animated container. And then we need to say streaming distance 0. So we need to define as well the template params. And the template params are again the type. So type, and this is what kind of loot. It is CR4 loot. And this has a container, and this container has corpse loot. Let's call it like this. And we have to define the loot later. So we could now define different loots here, and we will only have this one. So we have to say chance is 100. Or we could say lower, but then that won't be there anytime, and that would be stupid for a quest. Respawn time is 0. We don't want any respawning. So that is our corpse. Let's just copy this, and we will just use this for, yeah, perfect, for the loot. So let's call it loot. Let's copy the loot container here. This is also an animated container, but we don't want to have corpse loot. We will have, I don't know, loot because this is the loot. Yeah, good name from me. I don't know, but I think you know what I mean. Last, we need to define the blood. So let's do that. Prolog blood. And what do we have? We have includes, and then we need to specify the blood again, but this time we only need to specify the blood and nothing more. So let's go ahead and grab, no, this is the blood. Go ahead and grab this and put it here. And then we say this is an entity object again. And what type? It has the type v3 monster clue. This is also the type like we have here, and no, we defined it here as C entity, but this is a container, for example. Um, so this is a monster clue, and we have to test line of sight true. And now we define the components again, components, okay. And what do we want to have? We want to have the type interaction component. Yes, exactly. And we have the action we want to have here. It is examine. And now we define the range for that action. Range min 0.0, range max 3.0 is enabled true. Enabled true. Port to script true. Okay, that should be our entities. Let's go ahead and delete the rest of the information from here. We don't need that anymore. Now that we have defined the entities, we have to define obviously as well the loot. So let's go ahead and do that. New file again. Let's call it, this is items. Let's go ahead and save again in def items JML. And we will have the items in here. So no notice says these are readable like letters and stuff like that. So for now we will just do 2 letters. Let's call it, and I will copy it from here because I don't want to type all of that. Let's do these 2 letters here and save that. Make a new file, call it loot, save, define a loot JML. Let's call loot, and what is in loot? We can describe it like this. So notice letter 2, and we have corpse loot, and this will be notices letter 1. Let's go ahead and save that again. So next up, there is only one more thing missing, I think, and that is the journal. So journals, save, define journal JML. So basically you can go ahead and copy these files for every project you're gonna make. So we have quests here, and we have only one quest in our mod. That would be the, let's call it duel. And then we will need a title. Call it duel on the road. kind of what type of quest it is. I will say it's a side quest, I think. I'm not sure if that is correct. And then we need the description. I will copy this as well. So we will put in this description. We can use this. This is at the side of the quest journal. After you finish the quest, what will be standing there? Next, we need in struct in oh, I can't instructions. Okay, there we go. And the instructor for these quests are investigations. Investigation. So, what investigations do we want to have? We want to have. We have to say first of all in which. No, what? How we want to call it? We want to call it investigate. Investigate like this. And again, what world? Prolog. The caption. Investigate area. And we can also define like markers, or in this case, a mapping. And now we have to look how we call the mapping. We called it investigate corpse. So let's call it investigate corpse. And the range here, we can see this is a comment, so this won't be active in the script. So as it says here, it's the radius for the quest instruction. So we put it here. That will be the first. And let's make another one, investigate. And we don't call it investigate, we call it search man. My bad, it is investigation. And this will be in the same world, prolog. And we need to make a space here. Yeah. And caption will be find the other man. Okay. I think that should be everything. I made some mistakes creating this file, so let's fix them real quick. First of all, we need the two spaces everywhere instead of what I did. So let's fix that. And then there is a bit special case here. We need like 4 after the investigate. And also I forgot the space bar after this here, which will lead to a problem I can show you in a second. Okay. This should be fine. No, this should be not fine. Okay, well, as you can see, this is the correct and I missed here too. All of those have to go like this. So this is the correct way of writing the file. Everywhere too, we have the title, type, description, and instructions. And after the investigation here, we have actually 4. Also, if you save this, this should work now. So if we do it like this, and we will see later here, there is a block where we use this mapping, and then we have like the wrong mapping here. We will use this in the video, but the correct way would be like it is here with just the investigate corpse. So let's go ahead and go here in the quest editor and say yes to reload, and we have made a mistake obviously somewhere. Define entities, and there is a mistake in define entities at line 11. So actually, I made a little mistake. You can only have two spaces here. If you press tab, that will be 4 spaces, and that won't work. So you only have to use 2 spaces every time. And if we do this now and we load, okay, wait, I made a plus here. Well, that won't work. We can load the quest editor now, and we have everything here, as you know. Let me change that back quick. Load. Okay. Okay. Here we are in the quest editor now. So let's put together our quest. We can move around with the middle mouse, and we can with right click create new block. So at the start, let's hide, and we call this init hide. And what do we want to hide? We want to hide in the world prologue, and the layers to hide, well, we only have 2 layers, that is content and trigger. Obviously, we want to hide content. That should be happening right at the start, so we will draw a line there. Then we will wait until entered area, and this is wait trigger, and the actor player, obviously, trigger area until the player enters the trigger area. Sorry, we want to save the changes, and that will be our main path for the quest. So if the player enters, what should happen? We want to have quest objective. From the quest duel, investigation is the phase, and the objective is investigate. That will be the first here, and then we want to uh, no journal mapping. Okay, here. As soon as this gets activated, we will get this out. So let's put here dual investigate, and then we have here the map pin. Save change. And we call this investigate. And this maybe investigate mapping. Save. That should be fine. Let's snap to grid. Maybe that will be nice. Okay. So now we also have to load our layer. So show layer, and let's obviously in the prologue, and we want to show the content. Let's do that. Also, for good measurement, we will log, and we will say loaded quest, and that will happen as well. Okay, what do we want to do next? After we show the layer, we want to wait until, and then we want to wait until the player looted, and we change here to entity ID, prologue, and corpse 1, and that will wait looted corpse 1. That will happen after this. Okay. And next we want to wait. No, we want to make an entry in the journal actually. That's one thing. And this will be not a character, not a piece, but a quest entry. And then obviously this will be the corpse found entry. We save that. And we do examine. There it is. Examine blood. And we change again to ID and the blood. And there we go. And we will make a new entry as well, journal entry. be like this. And again, we have a journal quest, and we found the blood. Save. This will lead that to the entry we wrote in the here in the define a journal. So this will make this entry appear in the journal. Okay, so now we have got that. After we examine the blood, we also want to finish this goal. So we can actually zoom in. We hook this up to the success of this investigate. Also, we want to start the new quest. So journal quest objective and want to active. And this will be the second phase. So search man, save changes. So what do we want to do next? We want to wait until looted, and we want to loot the second corpse. Save change. Okay, let's put this line in here. And this will be the success of this quest. And after we loot it, there will be journal quest outcome, and we will have done this quest correctly, and we have to choose the quest as well here. And then we could make maybe another lock. I don't think we need the lock actually. We will know that we finished the quest. So let's save this. And we have to connect this at the end. And that should be good to go, I think. Let me do a quick check. Or maybe we just start and we will see if anything goes wrong. So now we want to go ahead and run the full rebuild. But if there is an error, we can't see it. So we should go ahead and press Control, Shift, and then we can open PowerShell, or in my case, I can open Terminal, like that more. So we put that here, and we will say full rebuild. And here we can see we made a mistake. Expected type of quest in the, oops, I didn't want to scroll up, in the define entities. Let's see what we did wrong there. So definition entities, right, in which file? Entities, JML. It is always easier to copy the old file and just replace things and then copy paste it. As you can see, we are good to go. Or we are not. There seems to be something wrong with the build. So if you get a mistake like this, you will want to go to your game, DLC, remove the quest, or remove everything what is not the clean install, and the radish tools here, and also in the mods folder here, and the template. And then you will want to go ahead and go to tools, mod tools, for data, DLC, and remove all the links you don't. You see here that all the links to your mod, to your created mods, and then go to project, to your project, or the project that's not working anymore. Check the settings again, and then execute create links again. Then everything should be working. Otherwise, you still have a name somewhere wrong. So check that you have this name that you wrote. Sorry, the name that you wrote here. That's the name you use everywhere. Okay, we had no mistakes this time. Only warnings because we recreated some files. but we want to recreate files, so that is good. So let me go ahead and play our quest. Our DLCs are back, so we can load the game we made here at the windmill. So let's do that. So let's go over here in the area, and we have our quest. And as you can see on the minimap, we also have a marker here. Now let's check if we... Yes, we can. And we get the letter. And we have to investigate this boat here.
Hasn't even dried.
Okay, and that will go away the marker on the map. So now it would be nice like to have a marker on the map. We could maybe place one big marker, but like it would be nice like having a following marker. You can do this with areas you place, and then you trigger them. If they get triggered, you will load the next mapping. But yeah, I was too lazy to do that now. And there we go. We completed the quest. Let's check real quick. We can also read these letters. Yeah, we can also read these letters. And that should complete the second trial. As you can see, you can always make mistakes, but with a little bit of detective work and the look at the project, you should be able to figure them out. See you on the next trial.